Hello, didn't see you there. I'm so fucking cringe. Today we're gonna be talking about an extremely interesting author, or more specifically about two of his works that I found particularly interesting. And they are Avant-Garde Yumiko and Sweet Poolside. And I'm pretty sure you probably do not know shit about these two. You probably never even heard of this author. And I don't blame you. Now, these two volumes, they talk about very, what is the word I'm searching for? Particular topics. More precisely, an obsession with dicks. And middle school kids learning how to shave. The fuck am I doing with my life? It's not too late to become a doctor, is it? Now, these two volumes are both one-shot manga, both written by Shuzo Shimi. A fairly unknown mangaka. I think that his most popular work would probably be Inside Mighty, of which I read like probably the first 5 volumes. And then there's also Happiness and Flowers of Evil, which I have not read unfortunately because it's basically impossible to find them in any store. And I could read them online, but I kind of want to support these artists because I'm pretty sure he's not making a lot of money out of this. Now, Shuzo Shimi is a bit of a, how do I put it, interesting author. But let's let the art speak for the artist. Now, the first of these two masterpieces that I really wanted to talk about is gonna be Avant-Garde Yumiko. Okay, I think it's more than fair to start with sort of a synopsis of the story of this manga. Now, Yumiko is a fairly normal high school girl, and as every normal high schooler, she has a sort of a dream of an aspiration in her life. For some kids, it might be to get like the top grades in their class. Like to travel to some new places or to get lots of friends, but let's say that Yumiko's dream is just a really tiny bit more unique because what she desires most in her life is to finally have the opportunity to see an actual real penis, because penises are, as you can see from this beautiful cover, are the only thing that her mind can think about. And it doesn't really matter where she is, because whether it be at school or on the train coming back home or whatever, she can do otherwise than thinking about the fact that she's surrounded by dicks, or people with dicks. Man, everywhere she looks, and she constantly feels like her biggest dream is always hanging there, right in front of her. So close, yet so far. At a certain point, it almost starts to feel like her dream might never come true. But one day at school, she finds out about the existence of an art club and decides to check it out, deeply hoping that it would also have some type of nude drawing sessions so that she can finally manage to see a dick. Unfortunately, a bit later she finds out that the only member of the club is a guy called Shiichi, and that, sadly enough, nude sessions are not a thing because of a problem with budget. Now, deeply saddened after learning this fact, she tries to leave, but Shiichi tells her that he would do anything in order for her to join the club, that otherwise might even get shut down because, as you know, there's not enough members in it. And at this point, the light bulb above her head lights up. She asks Shiichi to pose naked for her, and if he does, she will become a member of the club. Now, very reluctantly, Shiichi agrees to this absolutely rational request. The end of the story? Absolutely not, because from this point, this manga becomes an absolute wild run, as if it wasn't so from the beginning, don't get me wrong. After many situations in which either of them poses naked for the other one and they draw each other, it comes to a point where they start to paint each other's bodies, like literally paint on their bodies. And then they, how to put this elegantly, they fuck while covered in paint. And yeah. Now, do you feel like recommending this manga to you guys? No, not at all. No, but honestly speaking, I don't think that a lot of people might find any type of enjoyment out of this manga, because as long as you don't have some type of fetish that is represented in here as like bodies covered in paint, do not give you a boner, I wouldn't really recommend this to you, because the story, okay, it definitely is something original. I'm not gonna say it's not. But, not everything that's original deserves to be read. Other than that, if we're gonna talk about the art style, it's not bad, but it's not particularly good. Especially in some scenes where the perspective is a little bit, more difficult to draw. Shuzo Shimi kind of struggles with it. We gotta also keep in mind that this is like his first. I think it's his first. I think it's one of his first works. So it's pretty. The art style is pretty good for being one of his first works. So now, well, you might ask, why did I decide to put this manga in this video where I supposedly should be recommending you stuff to read? Honestly, just because of how absurd it is. And actually, it is also the same reason as to why I put the following manga in this video as well. Sweet Poolside. This one is somewhat of a more wholesome one. So once again, we're in a school setting. This time, it's middle school though. Now, just to make this this story just a tiny bit more illegal than the previous one, I'm presented with Toshiniko, which, although being already in middle school, the poor dude doesn't have any body hair. And for whatever reason, he gets like extremely badly bullied because of this. One day during PE lessons in the swimming pool, he notices that one of his schoolmates, a girl called Ayako, has hair on her legs. And logically, you know, he starts to sort of wonder whether she might also have them down there, as he says. After another episode of bullying, when a classmate gave the entire school an opportunity to look at his hairless he runs away crying. When in one of the school's corridors, he notices Ayako trying to shave and for whatever reason falls through the door, startling the poor girl. And once again, for whatever reason, she confesses that she's way too scared and anxious to shave, but hates the fact of having body hair, which is the complete opposite of Toshiniko, who will do basically anything in order to have body hair. So an author has, I'd say that he has some ideas. They're not necessarily good ideas, but he has ideas. So after a brief an argument between the two, Ayako asks him to help her shave. So from this point on, Toshiniko will keep on shaving various parts of her body, like starting with arms, then legs, armpits, and if you really want to know, you're gonna have to figure that out for yourself by spending almost $8 on this, as I did. So yeah, and it's not fair if you search for discounts. You don't spend the fucking money or read it, okay? Okay, I can't be the only one who fucking read this. Now, as much as Soshimi's stories can come off as as very wacky and, well, sometimes straight up absurd, I've gotta say that the art style, especially in this one, not so much in the previous one, is actually pretty good. It's nothing amazing by any means, but it looks pretty clean and tends to sort of a more realistic side, which I kind of appreciate in manga. Now, once again, do I recommend you reading this? No. No, don't. There's no argument, there's no good point that I can make in order to make you guys read this. Because, you know, as long as you're not really into these completely absurd and wacky stories and you're not willing to spend money on this, but if you're like a complete degenerate, that will willingly spend money on shit like this, and then, well, that was an interesting video to make. Now, as always, I really hope that you enjoyed this video in some way, and that it helped you find some new manga to read, as this format is kind of supposed to, you know. Other than that, thank you very much again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I'll be doing so many more of these videos. Don't forget to leave a like, and also if you have any recommendations for me to read some unknown and, well, somewhat interesting manga, be sure to comment down below, and I'll be more than glad to check out whatever you might recommend me. And well, that's gonna be probably it for today. Goodbye.